Alright guys, welcome back again to the channel. Thanks for joining back to watch the video. As usual, back to let you know some of the stories making the rounds right now as they concern the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So it feels like we've been handed an extra boost in terms of qualifying for the FIFA World Cup 2026. Now I know you guys don't want to hear about this. Nobody wants to hear about it. Even me that I'm telling you guys. I don't even want to hear about it. I don't like all this permutation. If these ones draw and these ones lose, and then we win our two matches, they will qualify ahead of. I don't even want to be a part of that because my conviction is, if as a team and the Super Eagles of Nigeria, if they cannot qualify comfortably without all of this permutation here and there, or without waiting for a certain team to have issue with CAF or FIFA so that they will be dropped and then we have the opportunity to replace them. All this kind of scenario, if it's how we are going to qualify, then at the end of the day, I don't think it's worth it because if we go to the World Cup next year, we will not be able to perform. We will not be able to perform because we don't deserve to be there. We are not playing the best football. We don't have the right mentality. We don't have the strong squad to actually go into the World Cup to make a statement. So if we go like that, then obviously we will not even qualify from the group stages. That's how I feel, which is why I don't even like to talk about these things. But at the end of the day, I owe it to you guys, because a lot of people on the channel actually depend on, the update that I give here for the Super Eagles. So this is something that is actually possible. It's something that is very realistic. So that's why I wanted to talk about it here on this channel. So Equatorial Guinea have been sanctioned by FIFA because of fielding, because of the fact that after series of investigation, they realized that Emiliano Nsue, who had been playing for the country for several years, is not legally or fully eligible to play for the Equatorial Guinea team because of the paperwork. He didn't get all the documents right in terms of transferring his allegiance from Spain to Equatorial Guinea. So this has been found out now, and FIFA decided to punish them, bitterly about this. They've deducted 6 points from their total points. Actually, these games were played, I think, sometime last year against uh, uh, Namibia and Liberia. So these points have been given to these countries that they won the game. They actually won those games sometime last year, 1-0, 1-0. Emiliano Insue was a very important player in that match. I think he scored, one or two of the goals. So that's the reason why this match is now invalid for Equatorial Guinea. So FIFA has moved to punish them, and this means that they have now dropped from their position, their second position. They actually previously had up to 16 points, and were occupying the second position in the Group H. But with this punishment, it means that they now, you know, have come down to the fifth position with 10 points because it was 6 points that was reduced from their total points. And now Namibia has climbed up the ladder in the Group H with 15 points. So this is how it is right now. So how has this affected or favored Nigeria? It has affected us in the sense that we now have, the opportunity to make the playoff positions, but only if we win our two matches. Not just win these two matches, but also we have to win it somewhat convincingly. If we can score a lot of goals, it can actually help us, on the long run. But we have to at least get these 6 points from the two final matches, to climb up. If we get the 6 points, and then you join it to the 11 points, it will be 17 points total, and that will probably give us a chance to qualify, into the playoffs for the competition. But this is something that it's still very difficult. If you check the playoff, the point, the point, the average point in the playoff position, you see that you have to have from like 14 points to as much as 19 points. So this is the bracket of points that playoff positions occupy right now. Again, there's the situation of the Eritrean national team who have decided to pull off from the qualifying series, and now it's also something that could potentially be handing opportunities to other countries, to qualify into the playoff position, because CAF would have to sort out a way to settle that Eritrea group to make sure that they balance up all of these teams that will be qualifying into the playoffs. So that's just how it is. It's a little bit complicated, but at the end of the day, that's the route that we find ourselves in. So that is the situation now for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I just wanted to let you guys know about it. It's very boring to talk about. It doesn't give any joy whatsoever, especially if you're a big country, like Nigeria. The fans obviously expected more from the team other than this whole permutation process of qualifying. But leave your reactions, guys, as always. Let's move forward and talk about other things that have now happened. Of course, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria, as you know, they are preparing for the under 20 World Cup coming up on the 29th of this month. They've actually landed Chile, Santiago, Chile. They landed the country today. So obviously, uh, everything is going well for them. They're going to try to settle down and then have a couple of trainings and probably have at least one friendly match to test themselves before they start the competition properly on the 29th. So that's what's happening. Thank God for Johnny Messi for these guys, and we hope to see more updates coming out from their Chile camp. And then let's talk about what's happening right now with Ademola Lookman. A certain Italian journalist who goes by the name Fabrizio Beazin has come out to give us some reasons why Ademola Lookman will not be going to Inter Milan this January. Of course, Inter Milan were the biggest, you know, ones that showed interest on Ademola Lookman. They were willing to pay up to 45 million euros, but Atalanta rejected it on the basis that they don't want to sell to a local club. And this journalist now has come out to set the record straight, stating what we already knew before, and then adding one extra thing that we probably don't know. So for this journalist, he's saying that African Cup of Nations competition that's coming up in December is one of the reasons why Inter Milan will not be interested in buying Ademola Lookman. And then he said also that, the fact that Pakasi, who's one of the bosses of the Atlanta side, said it that he will not be going back on his word. He doesn't want to sell Lookman to a local club, and that is the promise that he has given to the fans, and he's not about to break this promise. That is why he will never work out. In his words, he said he definitely won't leave in January because they have the African Cup of Nations. I tend to rule that out. When Atlanta rejected Inter's 42 million plus 3 million offer, Atalanta didn't say they want more. They said, we won't sell to Italy. This is legitimate. And Pakasi hasn't changed his mind, and I doubt he will. He will probably lose money on Lukman, even a lot, but he can always tell the fans he kept his word. So this is the new revelation coming out right now about Ademola Lookman. Of course, I don't know what to say, but at the end of the day, I think it's over for Lookman in the Serie A. If he wants to look for a new club, I think the best bet for him should be to go out of the Serie A, probably come back into the Premiership. We already miss him a lot, in the Premiership. We want to see Lukman return back to the Premiership. So let's leave that and talk about one ex-international now who is speaking out and calling on the people at the helm of the NFF, saying that, hey, you guys need to step aside for ex-internationals to come and handle this NFF job, to come and handle these top jobs, top administrative jobs in Nigerian football, and then change the narrative, change everything that's happening now. And, we'll start seeing results with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. This man is no other than former Super Eagles goalkeeper Peter Side Ida. He has actually come out now to say that uh, he believes that ex players can actually perform better than the current crop of NFF administrators. He believes that they should resign. He didn't say that specifically, but this is in summary what he was trying to say, that they should resign and leave this job, leave this administrative duty for ex internationals, because that is the only way that they can actually bring the Super Eagles back to the glory days. And to him, he says that um, the annoying thing is that these people that run football, they feel that ex-internationals are illiterate, that they don't have the qualification or education to actually run the administrative department of football in Nigeria. This is why they are snubbing them whenever they, come for these jobs, top NFF jobs. They don't always give it to them. They feel that they are dropouts, they are illiterate, because they played football, they abandoned school or they swapped schooling or education for football, and then they don't know anything about doing administrative work or doing the business of running football in Nigeria. He said no, this has to change because these guys that are running this football, they've not played football before, they don't really know what these players want. But we who are ex-internationals, we actually have played football before. We know what these footballers want, we know the areas that they are lacking. We know how to, we know the kinds of facilities that they need. We know how to relate with them on a personal level, as former players, things like that. So this is what Peter Said is advocating. Remember, this is very similar to what Mikel Obi said a few days ago when he said that the NFF needs to resign if they fail to see out the Super Eagles qualification, for 2026 World Cup, because it will be back to back that we've not qualified, and that is a failure automatically. It warrants resignation of all of the top guys in the NFF. This is similar to what John Mikel Obi is saying. Do you agree with him, or do you think they don't have any experience? Ex-internationals don't have any experience to run the NFF, or they don't have the education to run NFF and all other administrative parts of the Super Eagles.